Today we are learning basketball with Horace Grant, Magic legend, Bulls legend, NBA legend. What a time! How you doing today, Horace?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me on. It's just great timing in my life for my endeavors.
It sounds like it. From what I hear, you're recording your new show, Legends in Session, with Horace Grant, up in Chicago right now. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Because it looks super interesting. You're going to be having some old teammates in these in depth conversations, and I can't wait to hear it.
Well, this has been in the making for about 2 years. I just wanted to find the right uh, producers, executive producer, just the right timing for this. It's called Legends in Session, and it's about recognizing and giving legends their flowers right now. It's such a great show. It's going to be such a great show in terms of um, my guests taking me and my fans um, on their journey from the beginning until now of their life and their careers and what they're doing now in terms of with the community.
That's awesome to hear, and it's incredible to give them their flowers. While they're still with us, I think that gets underrated, and I think that sounds like a theme of the show to honor the players that There's only so many people that make it to the NBA, and a lot of people don't really realize how exclusive that club is. I'm sure it's what like it almost feels like a couple hundred players. I'm sure we could look up the number, but it's not very many. So just making it is the dream for most players. So for everyone in this basketball space. So just being able to kind of celebrate what they did on the court. Not everyone is going to be as successful in the team side of things as you. So not everyone gets the credit that they deserve. So it's very cool that you're able to kind of go through different players' careers and honor them. And that's hopefully what we're going to do here a little bit too. And I want to hear about your journey a little bit and as well. But before we dive into your journey, tell me one more thing about the show. I wanted to ask. It's each episode is going to unfold like an NBA game. It says where you have a pregame and a halftime and four quarters. Can you tell me a little info of how that would work?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any NBA game. You're gonna have pregame, right? We're gonna have fun asking questions. Then we're gonna go into the first quarter of certain parts of their lives. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and then we're gonna have that post game. So it's just like an NBA game about their lives.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Where you kind of break the ice with some fun, and then you dig into the details, and you really want to hear some stories from them. So, transitioning a little to your career and your development, I just wanted to hear first off, what few families see one basketball player go pro, let alone four with your family. What was it like just going through your NBA journey with your brother Harvey? And in terms of his kids, what does it mean to see Jerian play for the Bulls and the Magic?
Well, going through that journey with my brother Harvey, who is my best friend, man. I mean, we talk probably 2 or 3 times per day, just about life, his family, my nephews, basketball. I mean, and so much other things, so many other things. It was such a tremendous journey with him. Um, uh, uh, with our careers going to the NBA and college. And for my nephew, Jerian, man, I mean, I saw the writing on the wall when he was in high school, and it just carried on over to when he went to Notre Dame and just had a spectacular career there. And I remember sitting, Phil Jackson, he was the GM of the Knicks at the time. We had lunch together in LA. And he said, Horace, give me some more information about your nephew. I said, man, hard worker, passion, love for the game, listen to the coaches. And he said, we'll consider drafting him. And I'm like, really?
Man.
Yeah. And he swore me to secrecy, not to say anything that Jerian concerning that. So, and they end up drafting him. Yeah.
Man, what a story! That's just awesome to see. You know, another generation get that opportunity, and something I was interested in. If you could touch on kind of the differences in the development, and between you and Harvey, and then Jerian and Jerami, like, what kind of experiences and opportunities and just advice are you able to pass down to them to maybe make their development path a little more clear compared to what you and Harvey probably had to go through?
Well, what Harvey and I went through in terms of, I mean, being twins, we were so competitive with each other, in
Yeah.
anything. I mean, when it came to pitching pennies or things of that nature, and we and we thrived on that with each other. We motivated each other, and I think that's the same way with my two nephews, Jeremy and Jerian. Um, I was more the more physical player. Harvey was kind of the finesse, jump shot player and things of that nature. And I think Harvey would tell you I play a little bit more defense than he did back in the day. And with my two nephews, Jaren and Jaren, I think the only difference is Jeremy is, of course, a lot taller, but they still both have excellent defensive skills. They can shoot the ball, and they're very athletic.
Yeah, I caught a lot of Jerian covering the Magic, point guard for Orlando. You know, playing with like Oladipo in those days, if I recall.
Yeah,
So some fun players. Definitely, like one thing that stands out for all the Grants is that defensive intensity to me, at the very least. But Jeremy from the perfect. I really like that role he had in Denver too, next to Jokic. That seemed like some good balance. And then he found opportunity to sign a big deal, like become an all-star, get more touches, and so it's really cool to see him continue to bloom in the NBA. And so as a kid, I wore glasses. Obviously, I'm wearing them right now. It was cool to see you popularize the goggles. I read somewhere that you actually got LASIK surgery and continued to wear the goggles because of how much it meant to kids like me, apparently.
well, the the crazy thing is that um, I did wear the prescription goggles, and then when I came to Orlando, I got the LASIK. But during my tendency in Chicago, the parents and the grandparents would come up to me and say, "Horace, thank you for wearing those goggles, and my son, my daughter, my grandkids don't get bullied anymore. You made them cool." So when I got to Orlando, I did the surgery, and all of that stuck into my mind and my spirit, and I said, okay. So I just took the prescription out and kept wearing the goggles. Yeah.
There it is. I mean, you popularized it. I don't know who else has a claim to that uh, than you right there. I wanted to shift over to your career uh, on the court, of course. What are the moments and flashbacks to your career that stand out most? Like, what is there certain plays that just stick with you, good or bad, to this day?
Well, over my NBA career, I would say uh, the good would be, of course, getting drafted in 1987 from the Bulls. Um, Secondly, I would say, man, that first championship, with the Bulls, um, and the second and the third, and and I would go on and say that in terms of playing with um, guys like MJ, Scotty, and then going to Orlando playing with a young Shaq, Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott. Um, Gosh, I can go on and on. Going to the Lakers and playing alongside guys like Shaq and the late great Kobe, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox,
Whew.
Rob Horry. Gary Payton, Karl Malone, my last year with the Lakers. So I just been very blessed to have been played beside some great Hall of Famers.
No doubt. That was one of my questions was, being really it's two questions here. So I'll start with, playing with all these great players. You mentioned all of them. What are some of the similarities and differences that stood out to you the most? Just being around them, like Kobe and Jordan are thought of as these maniacal killers on the court, and then you play with Shaq and Penny. Then you've also played with Gary Payton and T Mac and Malone and all these stars. What are some of the things that stand out maybe about their personality, their work ethic that maybe young players can see and kind of emulate to find similar success?
Let me start off with Kobe and MJ.
Yeah.
I have never seen two killers, two guys work on their craft and their game in my 17 years of playing in the NBA. The determination and the passion that they have for winning and making their teammates better. And playing along beside Shaq, who's one of the most dominated centers I have ever seen in my life. When he's focused, man, there's no one more dominated than him. Playing beside T-Mac, one of the most gifted athletes I ever played beside, man. I mean, in terms of his tenacity, scoring, rebounding, you name it. And I can't forget one of my favorite players and my friend to this day, Scottie Pippen. I mean, there was no weakness in his game in terms of offense and defense. That guy will pick you up full court, block shots, get his teammates involved. So, the glove. I mean, you can just say he's one of the most talkative guys I ever played with, and Karl Malone. I mean, I think his stats and his play speaks for itself.
Man, so many insane talents there. You kind of hit on it that Shaq may have been the most dominant force you saw, seeing as you played with peak prime Jordan, peak prime Shaq, and Kobe and all these players as well as they're kind of younger in that era as well. Is there one player that was clearly just the most dominant peak player that you played with in your career?
Yeah, it's such a great question. Shaq dominance and MJ dominance. The only difference is MJ is 6'6" and Shaq is 7 feet. Both of them is just so dominant. Man, I've seen Shaq just move guys like they were like a piece of paper, man, out there on the floor. I mean, it's unreal what I've seen up close with the big fella. And MJ, oh man, I mean, that killer, when he steps on the court, is how will I devour my opponent? So I can't choose one dominant over the other because they were two different positions of domination.
I like it. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. So just to highlight a few of your all-time performances: 30 points, 20 boards, had 11 offensive rebounds in that game, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist. A day after Christmas against the Indiana Pacers. Not to freak you out or anything, but that was exactly 2 weeks after I was born. So I was just getting into this world, looking at that date. But December seemed to be your time. 1 year later, 31 points, 15 boards, 4 blocks, a steal, and 3 assists against the Celtics, December 15th, 93. And then one of the big moments that stands out in my mind is that revenge first round series, Magic Bulls, right after you sign in Orlando. You have just an incredible series, 18 points, 11 boards on 67% true shooting, not just one game, the whole series. Like, you're just balling out, efficient as heck. How did that feel to kind of, play your former team that you won so much with? Even with that success, I'm sure you still want to beat them after everything, how everything goes down pretty badly.
Absolutely. Whenever you have a chance to play against a great athlete, basketball player like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, um, you're going to have to be your best at your best to beat them. Um, help winning 3 championships, and with myself coming to the Magic with great talents like Shaq and Penny and Nick and Dennis. Um, I remember after the series was over with, I talked to Phil Jackson, and he said, Horace, um, I was going to make you beat us because in Chicago, I didn't get that many shots with Michael and Scotty, but and Phil knew that, but with Shaq and Penny and Nick and the guys, they knew if I'm open, if I knew if I'm open, they're going to get me the ball, and and Phil all the way through that series, like, we're going to make Horace beat us. So, and I had one of my greatest performance in that series, and it felt so great.
I love it. He's telling you the game plan was for you to beat them, so you stepped up and did it.
Yeah, I had to oblige him.
If you say so, Phil. There it is. On your skill set as a whole, how does one, you're one of the greatest rebounders, defenders, winners to play the sport. What does the work ethic look like to build that well-rounded two-way skill set that I don't think everyone necessarily credits enough, that you really have to bring two-way impact to win basketball games at this level?
Yeah, absolutely. My mindset was to go out there and do play my role, for lack of a better phrase, to do what I do best, and that was rebounding, blocking shots, playing defense. And if one of my teammates makes a mistake on defense, hopefully that I could correct that mistake. And the shooting just came along because during the summertime I will go in the gym and work on my 15 to 17 foot shots, just in case Michael and Scotty would pass me the ball. So that's where that came in, and I just carried that over into Orlando and the Lakers.
And so to that point, do you think if it was today's game, are you working on the 3-point shot instead of the mid-range, maybe searching out? Because back then, that was the floor spacing. Like that was you spreading the floor for a 15 to 18-foot mid-range jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the day, that 15 to 17 foot is like the 3-pointers to today. Right. So I would definitely be working on. I would have loved to work on my 3-point shots for sure.
Be lighting it up. So on these skills, what do you think makes your game so complementary to all these different stars? Because you're not just playing like with one point guard star who knows how to set up the play finisher. You go from 2 big wings to Jordan Pippen to Penny and Shaq, the point guard in the center, to Kobe and Shaq, to Payton, to T-Mac and Malone. What makes your game so translatable to any situation to still help winning? And is it simply what we just kind of hit on?
I think it's kind of what we just hit on in terms of they knew what I bring to the table in terms of first rebound and playing defense. And everything else is just cherry on the ice cream, if you will, in terms of hitting those open shots, playing that good defense. Like in every movie, you have your 1 or 2 stars, then everybody else have to play their role in order for that movie to be successful. And I felt that over my career, I played that supporting role quite well.
Absolutely, and that role, I think, is just a recipe for winning basketball success. Like if you're going to play defense, rebound, and bring efficient scoring inside and stretch the floor offensively, like there's very few holes in your game, especially at that point, and you're just able to complement any star in my mind in that way, and that obviously you did. Some fun questions here to end the pod on kind of the trio ideas. which all-time group was the most fun to just kind of be in the locker room with and be on the road with?
Wow, man, I would say on the road with just fun in the locker room
Yeah,
and
and any stories with that?
winning. I would say I would have to say Orlando. I would have to say
Yeah.
uh, with young Shaq and Penny and the guys because they were young, kind of didn't know in terms of what it took to get to the finals at the time. But that journey with those teammates was a great journey. It was a learning experience. Them getting to know me, I'm getting to know them as teammates and as players.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're young stars just getting drafted. You're the vet with all this championship experience rolling in, showing them the ropes. So I could see that being a fun time, almost like a startup. It seems like where like the team itself was brand new.
Yeah, absolutely. And during my stint there, we just started to build culture and culture and culture with the organization.
There it is. I think it was Pat Williams, John Gabriel helping build that team. Want to give them a shout back in the day. Brian Hill probably coaching as well. So shout out to the whole squad. On some of these trios, hypothetical 3-on-3 game. You're the constant. Who wins in a 3-on-3 tournament between all your different combinations of teams? Jordan, Pippen, and you, Shaq and Penny and you, Kobe and Shaq and you. If you want to mix and match other teammates too that you think might do it, maybe it's Gary Payton and Karl Malone and Horace that you think could take it. So who do you think wins the hypothetical 3-on-3? Let's go first to 11.
That's such a great question. I think in our prime, with me being the common denominator, I would say myself, Shaq, and Kobe.
Hey.
But man, those two guys in their prime, and Horace Grant in their prime, I don't see a three beating us like that. Yeah,
that's hard to top right there, man. So that I'm really excited to just see this new show. 4-time NBA champ, 4-time All Defensive Team, 1-time All Star. Congrats on joining the Chicago Bulls of Honor as well. Any parting thoughts and information to kind of get people excited for this show? The first season features 13 one-hour episodes. You're filming in Chicago now. Mid-2026 premiere is expected. And you mentioned that you're expecting to tape with some big-time teammates. Charles Oakley, Vernon Maxwell, Scottie Pippen is expected as well. Your brother Harvey, Gary Payton, Penny Hardaway. I mean, the names go on. I can't wait to check it out. Legends in Session with Horace Grant. Any parting thoughts on the show and your career here?
Well, it's going to be such a great show in terms of just my guests sharing their journeys, their life stories, some of the stories that haven't been told yet. It's going to be a transparent show. We're going to have fun. We're going to laugh at some of the silly things we did during our careers, and it's not just limited to athletes. We're going to book Jim Belushi very soon. It's going to be quote unquote celebrities like that also, and baseball players. So it's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. I can't wait to check it out. I was up at the Chicago Sports Hall of Fame checking it out for the first time just couple months ago, and I assume that's there's some great sports up in Chicago. You can find some great athletes just about anywhere you turn for this show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chicago was one of the, or still is one of the greatest hub for some great athletes.
No doubt. Well, I'm definitely excited for the Penny Hardaway episode after you telling me how much fun it was in the locker room with this team. And any stories come to mind as we kind of end the pod here with that group, Penny and Shaq? Just what's one of the stories that pop into mind? Just kind of laughing around or joking around with that group.
Wait, with Shaq, you can't tell too many stories on TV on podcasts. Shaq was just one of those big lovable kids, gentle giants,
Yeah,
man,
there it is.
that you love to be around. He just lights up the room. Penny, he had his moment to uh, to express his silliness, if you will. But Penny was definitely majority of the time all about business and that laser focus which we needed being a young team in Orlando. But it was just some great times.
Man, I bet my dad was season ticket holder. My uncle was season ticket holder. Back then, getting to see you guys up in person, he was super excited that I was going to be able to do this today and connect with you. So I really appreciate you taking the time today, Horace. Legends in Session with Horace Grant, man. Can't wait to check it out. Thanks so much.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
You too. Have a good one.
Okay.